Hello, I'm Cheryl Lyon with the What's Cooking Cookbook Discussion Group, and for March we're doing something green. So most people think of March, of course, St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to be making Blarney Stone Bars. Just to give you a little information about the Blarney Stone, it's of course in Ireland. It's at the Blarney Castle. Now, what you do is you want to kiss the Blarney Stone. So you've got to go up this big sterile staircase, and it winds around and around till you get to the top. You stand in line, and then believe it or not, you turn upside down to kiss the stone, and legend has it that you get the gift of gab. So that's just a little information I thought you might enjoy with St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to be making the Blarney Stone Bars. It makes it into an 8x8 pan. And we'll kind of go through some of the ingredients. We have a half a cup of butter, softened, which I've had room temperature all day. 3/4 brown sugar, 2 large eggs. Make sure they're large eggs. Don't use medium or small. Tablespoon of milk. You can use any. I have skim. It says 2%. We have vanilla, flour, oats, baking powder. I'm not doing salt. I don't ever put salt in my desserts. English toffee bits, which are Heath, and we have pecans. Then we're going to make the frosting. So we'll start with the main ingredients, which is half a cup of softened butter. It's been at room temperature all day, and for some reason you make these without softening your butter. You can put it in the microwave and just be really careful not to melt it. So there's our half a cup of butter softened. I have these all pre-measured. So we have our brown sugar. These have a very unique taste with the toffee bits in them. So I thought you might enjoy them. I've made these for years. It's from the Taste of Home magazine. So we're going to cream that so it's really nice. There's no lumps and no chunks of butter in there. Like so. And we have 2 large eggs. So I thought, okay, so we are going to crack them with a knife since my table won't crack them for us. So we have 1 large egg. There's our eggs. We'll mix those in so they're nice and creamed. Okay, next on there is your vanilla and your milk. But we're going to put in the dry ingredients first, and we're going to put those in last, so it kind of alternate it. We're not going to put all the dry ingredients together. We'll just add them, but we'll separate them here. So we're going to add our 3/4 cup of flour. And our half a teaspoon of baking powder. You can tell how it's already creaming really, really nice. One of my favorite things to bake, if you haven't noticed by now with all the different presentations I have done, are bar cookies. I make them at home all the time, and it's just our favorite. So I'm always looking out for new recipes. And we have a lot of nice recipe books here at the library. We get new ones in all the time. So I hope you'll come up here sometime and pick some of them out. 3/4 cup. Now these are quick. You don't want to use the whole. Make sure you use the quick ones. So we'll add those. And then we're going to add our milk because it is a little dry. It's already been pre-measured. And then we do need a teaspoon of real vanilla. I'm good at guessing these because I've done it so many times. Okay, so you're going to think this is kind of a weird combination, but they are absolutely delicious. You can tell it's creaming up really, really nice here. Okay, we still need 3/4 cup of English toffee bits. You can get these pretty much at any big box store. They're also called bits of brickle, in case you wonder. They're not just the toffee. It says English toffee bits, but in case you're looking for them, they are Heath. So there's our 3/4 cup of those. We'll stir those in. That's what I like about this recipe. It's just, the texture is really nice. They're never dry. And we have, I did chop the pecans up, so we have just 1/3 cup of chopped pecans. You might want them smaller, but this gives it a little bit of a texture to it. Okay, so it's all creamed up, ready to go, so we're going to spray our pan. And I love using these old dishes. I like Pyrex, which you can see I use a lot of those, but this one I especially like because of the design. So we're going to bake it in that, but we'll spray it first so it doesn't stick. I suppose you probably could double if you really wanted to make a 9x13 pan. So you will be baking these approximately 20 to 24 minutes. You got to make sure that the toothpick comes out clean in the middle, but also that they're light brown, and I will show you the final product. So we're going to just spread these evenly. Because if you don't, some part might get done a little bit faster than the other. So you can tell they're nice and creamy. So you bake them at 350, which is on your recipe. But I'll show you what they turn out like, and then we're going to make green frosting. So that makes it our green food. So here's the final product. I made these at home last week. Light brown, toothpick in the middle, so that's how you know they were done. Okay, so we're going to do frosting. I don't believe in buying frosting because I love making it from scratch. It doesn't have the preservatives in. So we're going to start with, I don't even have a recipe. I've done this so many times. So we use powdered sugar. And since we're only making enough for an 8x8, we don't really need too much. I'm guessing that's probably maybe 1.5 cups. Now, what I use also is just margarine. This is just the soft margarine. I'm not using butter for this. So we're going to take that out of our container here. And just make sure it mixes in really nice. I'm guessing this is probably maybe 4 tablespoons. If you'd rather just use real butter, you can do that too. So we're just going to mix it up so it's get those little chunks out of there. Make sure you put it in a tall bowl. I've tried this at home with the shorter bowl and it just goes everywhere. So I brought my big batter bowl with me today. Okay, so it's pretty much got the little chunks fit in. So next we're going to add milk. I use almost all skim milk. You got to be really careful with it because that is a very, very thin milk. So we're going to do that until we get just the perfect consistency. Now I make my own chocolate frosting too, and all I do is add, of course, the unsweetened cocoa. I use the Dutch most of the time, but you can use just the regular cocoa powder. And it by far tastes much better than what you would get out of your canned frosting. So, I might have to add a little bit more, or we're not going to have enough to spread, so I'll add a little bit of powdered sugar. You can tell kind of what it looks like there. It's yellow because it has, of course, the little bit of margarine in there, and then we're going to make it green. Still needs just a little more. You don't want it too thin, but if you have it too thick, it's not going to spread very easily. Actually, I have these in the freezer, so things are easily spreadable when they're frozen, especially cake. Okay, so we have some green food coloring. We'll just make it a light green. Well, it's going to be more of a dark green, but green it is. And then more powdered sugar. And I'll show you my neat little utensil here that we can spread it real easy. Someone who did a lot of cake baking pointed out something to me on how to frost just about anything with this neat little utensil. Yeah, we're really, really close. I think we're gonna add a little more powdered sugar to it. Just a dab thicker. What I like about these Pyrex dishes too, you have your lids and they fit perfectly on there, so you don't have to use your plastic wrap or your foil. Look at that pretty green color. Came a little darker than I thought, but it is for St. Patrick's Day. So, someone told me about these. So you can spread your bars, cakes, anything a lot easier. So we're going to use that. And remember, these have been baked already. But always put your toothpick in the middle, not on the sides, because sometimes the center doesn't get done as fast as the sides do, especially if your oven doesn't have exactly the right perfect temperature. So we're just going to do like this, like this. See how nice that spreads with this little utensil. Need just a little bit more in there. And that's all there is to it. So those are the Blarney Stone Bars. Try to make something like that on St. Patrick's Day if you want to. If not, we sometimes eat them all year long too. And then next month we will be doing something named after a city, like Boston baked beans. Who knows? The sky's the limit, and I will be doing that next month. And thank you for joining us for March. Hope to see you next month. Thank you.